free hot dog or pop. Can't go wrong.
I heard Aurora's turnout was better, but yeah.
I just heard that.
I just heard that.
Yeah.
Rumor had it,
Yeah, rumor had it.
employees at the plant.
They had a couple bounce houses, I'm pretty sure, so worked out well.
Well, my day, since it was all over by the time we got there.
It was, yeah, it was all over, yeah.
Oh, after the meeting you went there?
Yeah, they were out of hot dogs already.
Oh.
I know.
Hopefully you didn't starve that evening.
No,
Not even a bun?
they didn't even have chips left, Mike.
Really?
Nothing.
What about a pop? Do they have a pop of
Nothing.
water?
Nope.
Well, when they advertise, they say as long as it lasts.
Yeah.
Lindsay, did you send something from yours to Katrina?
No, yours.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't drive to White Lakes for a free hot dog.
You get close.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, hot dogs are all.
What time is on the phone?
5:30, I believe.
29.
Yeah, I got like
5 minutes slow today.
She declined it, so.
5 minutes behind.
Did you dock with her?
I called her 45 minutes
Why
ago.
we can't
And
get a
verbally
digital
indicated.
clock that's synced in with Greenwich or something, I don't know, but we certainly
My
have
phone
some-
was
It's
5:29.
like, Birch.
They've got a,
Mhm.
it's one of the old, it's in a city somewhere in Europe, and it's the clock is like from the 1400s and it's still, look
Ticking.
at this, and this one doesn't, I'd throw the thing away, that's my choice.
Just had better watch repair facilities there or something, I heard.
We used to have watch repair, or clock repair people in just about every community.
Yeah. Times change.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to go. If, camera ready, clerk's ready. All right, it's now 5:30 according to the internet. It's Tuesday, August 4th. We're in the City Council chambers at City Hall in Aurora for our regular meeting of the first meeting of the month of August. And I'll call the meeting to order, and we have a roll call, please.
Gregor?
Here.
Berquist? Here. Hanson?
Here.
Hess?
Here.
Keen?
All right, so, we have a quorum to conduct business. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, turning to our agenda then, the agenda item number 4 is the consent agenda for the viewing audience. Those are items on the regular agenda that are perceived to be not terribly controversial, and we often adopt them in one vote for all those that are marked with asterisks on the individual agenda item numbers. So does any counselor have any item they'd like removed from the consent agenda? All right, if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Oh, moved by Counselor Berkowitz, seconded by Counselor Hess. Any further discussion? Is the other way around?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, consent agenda is adopted. Moving down to appearances, do we have any appearances online at this point in the agenda?
I think Katrina will talk about the Birch Group presentation, so I don't think anyone else would need to present. She can just go during that agenda item.
Okay.
Yep.
So, all right, and then, let's see, we've had reports from staff members already during the agenda setting meeting, so I think we're proceeding then to reports from counselors, and Counselor Berkowitz.
Yeah, since Amy's not here, I'll go ahead and plug National Night Out for it is ongoing out at the Loon Lake Community Center until 8 p.m. Not that I want anybody to miss the council meeting, but it's a fun time. The East Range Marketing Committee has relaunched the eastrange.org to try to push people to one website for events and information about our area. They are working on trying to get data and everything kind of in one place for us. It is still a work in progress. progress, but it looks a lot better, and I encourage people to visit it and check it out. Again, it's eastrange.org. And other than that, I think July flew by so fast, I can't even, construction's doing, looks like they're doing a good job, so that's all I've got.
Good, thank you, Counselor. Counselor Hanson.
Well, I'd like to give kudos to everybody over the many, many years that took part in planning the water project. They had the ribbon cutting here last week, and I won't say that they were employed because it was all volunteer work, but it's a massive undertaking, and it was a job well done. Very.
Well, I'll be sure to convey that to the water
Everyone
board.
that took part in that. And also the safety committee met this last month. We meet quarterly. Once again, there's no accidents or injuries, which is always a good thing. We also reviewed the recent training event that the police department put on, and just to give feedback and other just other safety items. We've got we're in the process of reviewing a safety inspection for facilities. And we've gotten copies out to the different department heads and building managers and stuff so that they can look at theirs specifically. In our next quarter's meeting, we'll kind of review that and take what we can use, I guess, consolidate it to fit our setting. And one other thing that was as offshoot from some of the training that we've had and some of the things that have been brought up in requests, I guess, we're looking into OSHA grants for possible safety items that are needed to we can fund some of those things through OSHA grants. So it was a fruitful meeting. You know, it's nice, you can get things done when you don't have to talk about accidents that have occurred. So we can go, work positively.
It's good to have the emphasis on prevention versus
Yes.
reaction
Yes.
after the fact. Yeah, that's great.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Counselor Hess.
Not too much. The only thing is, everybody keep in mind that detours we got in effect and working around construction, so be careful driving around town. I think some of our delay Joshua brought up is because we're waiting for structures. That's why we haven't tore up the street downtown, so hopefully the next week we'll find out tomorrow. And it's a waiting game for concrete structures, so, or manholes, or whatever you want to call them. They're structured, but so that's the biggest holdup right now. So, but they're working along. I mean, there's no problems. They've got good weather. So that's all I've heard.
Good. Well, a lot of encouraging news on a lot of fronts. So that's good. So, just on behalf of the East Range Water Board, as the chair there, just wanted to thank everybody to echo Councilor Hanson's comments who contributed to the project and showed up to celebrate there, and to Lindsay and the Fulton and Mink crew for a superb job of hosting the event. You could sense that this wasn't the first rodeo for you folks. So, but I thought we were blessed with good weather and a nice chance to celebrate something that's so long in the offing there. I think someday the backstory will be written on that. So let's see, the water board itself is addressing the budgeting, preliminary budget. This will be the first time as an entity that they'll be faced with that challenge, and they're working also on the operational agreement between the city and the water board to provide the services of Aurora's water staff to perform some of the hopefully fewer operations at the new water treatment plant and the intake site there. So, but that's going on. And let's see, the just one business item that would be coming up is Dave Skelton and Dennis Shuby have been appointed representatives of our city council on the water board. And two things are happening. One, Dave Skelton had generously come out of retirement to sit on the board, and he's felt he's made his contribution to the sort of planning process, and so he's going to be stepping off this month, and we'll suitably recognize him, but we as a council need to appoint a replacement for him, and I think Dennis also feels his skill set may not be as applicable moving forward with the operations of a water system as opposed to planning it. So if there are people who have public works or engineering type experience or business experience too, that might be a valuable person to be on that board for us, that would be good to not drop the ball there when Dave falls or takes off from the board later on this month. Let's see. Kudos to Habitat for Humanity for their Holland Drive home completion or dedication there. It looked like a good family moving in, and there's a lot of landscaping work, I think, to do outside, but the inside is always impressive. They really know what they do, how to do it well. The Iron River Therapy ribbon cutting last Friday was a nice event at the call it Norma Jean's business, but the one next to the Megan's and on that strip there, and that should be very exciting and a good opportunity for younger people with some speech impediments. Let's see, just a reminder, August 11th is the primary election. Do vote, and there are facilities available for voting early and otherwise processing some of the votes before that time. If my records are correct, August 15th is the Caring for Kids Splash Pad event. Is that something that's on everybody's? That's at noon at the Splash Pad. And just Amy Keene, Councilor Keene, was unable to be with us today because she's got an organizational role in the National Night Out event that's taking place as we meet, and that's at the Loon Lake Center, I think. So if free food for those who might be watching on TV, I'm gonna head out to join that observation. So and then just it was encouraging for all of you who filed for office, and that we, I think, have candidates for the open positions, right? And just one contested race, and that's a good credit to the community that we can move forward and hopefully not skip a beat, but going ahead, and I'll be watching from the sidelines enjoying it. So that's the mayor's report. So let's move on with the agenda then. Moving on to agenda item 17.1. Council, I believe we had passed resolution 2026-36 at our last meeting regarding the identification of a separate parcel within the Public Works garage area there for the water treatment.
Just kept it on and looking at filing that with St. Louis County tomorrow. So we're working on that parcel division split.
Good.
And keep it on the agenda just till it gets approved by the county so they'll lose track of it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to keep it on that resolution number 2026-36 on the agenda.
Okay, moved by Councilor S to keep it on the agenda, supported by Councilor Hanson. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And you've got all the information you need, Council, right?
Yes.
All right. Moving then to agenda, section of the agenda, new business 18. 18.1 is the Birch Group presentation, and I believe we have the Birch Group on the Zoom session or a team session, or what are we on? Yeah, whatever. So welcome. I don't think we have any materials, right? So we're riveted on everything you have to tell us.
Okay. Well, good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Again, you know who I am. I'm Katrina Rhymes with Birch Group. and I will be representing, what our mission is and what you have proposed to us as far as, a city lot, an exchange lot. We do see this as an opportunity for the city of Aurora and Birch Grove to each put, property better and more, to more, productive use. The city's parcel is approximately 70 by 125, about 8,750 square feet, with an estimated market value of approximately 7,900. Birch Grove's parcel is approximately 100 by 213 feet, or 21,000, approximately 21,000 square feet, with an estimated market value of approximately $14,800. So we do recognize that Birch Grove property is both larger and has a higher estimated market value. However, there are some issues with trying to build on this lot, from what we see. So it's a statement that our interest in the exchange is not simply about the amount of land. We are looking at what each property can accomplish for the community. Birch Grove believes that the city's parcel may be more strategically useful to us for our mission and future development, while the property Birch Grove would transfer may be more useful in the city's hands. I do understand that, from Mr. Steer that, I believe, overpass may be going in that direction or around that route. So again, in stating, what we are looking for in this transaction is transparent, fair, and beneficial to both parties. We are willing to work with the city to make sure the values are appropriately documented and that the final agreement reflects the interests of both Birch Grove and the city of Aurora. If the council believes the exchange provides a meaningful public benefit and that the properties are being appropriately valued, we would be pleased to continue working with the city staff to finalize the details. I can tell you too, in the last several weeks, Birch Grove has acquired 13 properties in Iron Range, in which we are currently working on, and looking to create sustainable, affordable homes with these properties. We are on the pathway of also opening up a reuse center right there in the Iron Range within the next 30 days or so. So, in stating that, we really do look forward to, hopefully, again, we do recognize the current estimated value showing $6,900 difference, and we would like to work with the city. So that's kind of my presentation for the day. Please discussion. Thank you.
Where's the questions?
Where's the city parcel?
Right
Let
across
me-
from the water plant. Over there.
18
down
East
here.
4th Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a house tore down there a few years ago, and we ended up with that property. The property that they own is the one by Auto Valley
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah.
So we're looking to swap properties.
I think we've got a verbal proposal on more of a hands-on, that we have to see what the lots are, and a written proposal from Birch Group, and, give the council a chance to digest the information and put it on the agenda, if we're comfortable for the next meeting.
I would suggest that.
Yeah, I think, I sensed, Trina, that what you were looking for was an indication whether we might be willing to consider it, and I'm sensing that we probably would, but in light of what the legal counsel's saying too, probably more details need to be flushed out one way or another, but now, out of curiosity, in a situation like this, would we be doing a development agreement too? Or,
I don't know how far their plans are going, that's why we've got to vet it out a little bit, is, if the switch happens, what do they plan on doing with their lot, that type of thing.
Patrina, maybe the others know, but I'm just kind of curious, the lot that you do own on that particular corner, I don't believe that's due to be impacted by the diversion around the new bridge, but just kind of curious, have you shared with the city staff, or is there information you could share regarding what conditions existed that your group felt word suitable for the housing? Or-
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for that question. I will tell you, after speaking with your city engineer, Josh Steer, Mr. Steer, in regards to the property, we actually received a grant for this particular route, which we affectionately call the barn lot. We actually received a grant through pre-development studies, and after speaking with Mr. Steer, he informed us that a lot of pre-development would have to take place in order for just to get to a point where we could actually even consider putting slabs on the lot. So for instance, a lot of fill would have to go there, a lot of packing, and it would be way over our budget. After really, speaking in regards to, how we would want to build on the lot. We were going to build 2 homes on this lot, and it's not feasible.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of the written proposal is that, you can digest it in written form,
Right.
rather than just verbal here tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a football size area there that needs to be brought up 5+ feet with engineered fill, like it, short of a commercial development, it's probably not practical to build there. Knowing the bridge project is coming, there is some value having the opportunity to use that for stormwater management or something like that, right? And so if we have another lot available, working with city staff, this seems like a reasonable exchange.
So it might be advantageous for the roadway project?
Correct.
I think, okay.
Do you know, is there still active utilities into this other lot?
It should be.
As far as I know, there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up by the water plant, yep, it runs in the alley. I don't know the conditions, we don't have televising.
Right.
I'm sure they're old, right, but the main exists, so I mean, you'd be able to get tied into the system even if you had to replace the stub outs.
And then I'm assuming that the lot that the plant sits on, that whole section across the street from this is zoned what, commercial or?
No, that lot is residential.
Yeah, the other lot, but I mean across the street,
It's
Where the
public.
plant is?
public?
That would be-
PUD, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cause once that plant's gone, that could be rezoned.
Yeah. Well, let's see, I think, what seems to be on the table, is that we need a resolution to direct the staff to, pursue with the Birch Group, more refined, proposal with some, background, data and,
I'd say a motion, because resolutions
Yeah.
are like written.
Right,
Just
a
do
motion. All right.
I'd make
so-
a motion for us to work with Birch Group on a land exchange on the lots that they own and we own.
Moved by Counselor Hess to work with the group. Support?
Yep. I'll support
Counselor
it.
Hanson? Okay.
I'd like to add one thing
Sorry.
that we'd like to get it as soon as possible so we could get it on meeting 2 weeks from now, so get it moving, don't let it sit around.
All right, well, let's,
And I agree with council, is it, we should get, if we can get something in writing that we can digest and look at.
all right, so kind of a staff report and maybe even a proposed exchange terms, right? So, good. All right, so it's been moved and supported. Counselor Berquist, any comments or? Nope. All right, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Patrina, thanks so much for the continued interest in the city, and I'm sure the staff will look forward to working with you on the details of how to package it for presentation of the council, hopefully at the next meeting. Yeah. So, thank you.
That sounds good to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. You all have a good night.
You too.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Moving back to the agenda, 18.2 is the Cemetery Road Improvement Plan. Who's going to present that?
I can talk about it. Something that came up at the cemetery board meeting was the idea of potentially developing that new, for those who are familiar, that north part of the cemetery. It's a new addition, if you will. So we were talking about when we're gonna do that, potentially redoing some of our roads that currently are in there as well, cause a lot of them are not, in good condition at all. So, we just obtained some quotes, to bring back to the cemetery board, and ultimately the cemetery board did decide to push this forward and have the council review and see what they would like to do to continue with this, or we're hoping to eventually do that. The front page is actually the new addition, the remaining pages are the current existing roads, just for general sake, so. Kind of up to council on how they'd like to proceed with this, but yeah, and Bolton and Mink put it together, so hopefully if you have questions pertaining to it, Josh can answer.
So the proposal is to put in new roads through the northern portion.
Yes.
How full is the current part of the cemetery?
I guess I don't know an exact number, but pretty full. The two that are closest to Highway 100 probably have a lot more to fill, but those are the last two opened. But in terms of I would say the entire east part, it's few and far between. You're never getting a full plot anymore. It's just maybe singular placements throughout, but pretty full.
So that was my question, is do we need to open that part at this point? Is that why we're looking at this?
I thought more or less, as well as the cemetery board, when construction's happening over there, let's just do it at that time. It's not necessarily a need to open new grave sites. Yep. But
I guess I had a question, Josh. If this is taken as one project, I notice each one of these streets has a mobilization charge. Is that standard, or, I mean?
No, this is just a breakdown of street by street.
Okay.
There's probably not a scenario where we do everything at once, right? I think
Right.
It ends up being $500,000 or something like that, so it's just a breakdown if you wanted to pick and choose which ones. I forget the exact percentage we used at 8% probably, which is, if we do a smaller project, it's probably closer to 15. If we do a bigger project, it's probably closer to 5. But that's why it's broken out that way.
Okay.
So we would just have one mobilization if we did one project.
Just out of curiosity, in a situation where we're presented with potential $500,000 expenditure, do we have an avenue identified or unique to cemeteries, or for any kind of funding or
you know what?
financing or
It's
grants,
interesting
or-
that you ask that. I've been told when I go to that conference, at that annual cemetery conference, that there's not. But I think we're unique because we have the IRRR, so I think if we asked, we maybe could look at something from them, maybe some options from them pertaining to some sort of funding source, but it's definitely not gonna be a lot towards 500,000, so it would be a lot coming out of the general fund.
Yeah. Well, it's a sobering thought for budgeting time of something of that nature, but like I hear from well, it doesn't have to all be done at once, and there might be a prioritization of this, I assume, by the cemetery board, right? If we have to make choices.
Well, that's true, but there's never one of them that's pretty much shot, so if you're gonna do it, you should almost do it all at once, and because you start picking it apart, the cost is gonna double or triple.
I agree with that.
It's, right now, this is more or less for informational, and something we'll bring up during budgets, but we wanted to get it on the agenda, so
Yeah.
people had a chance to look at it, and you can take it out there and look at the streets and figure out
Yeah.
what's what, and,
Yep.
but it's, right now, it's more of a,
A wish list.
well, yeah, you can put it
For
that
lack
way.
of a better
Yeah.
term. But, yeah.
Triple
wanna-
RB always talks about shovel ready. Well, you've got it pretty much
Yeah.
all laid out with cost and it's shovel ready. That's what they always say.
Another thing pertaining to the cemetery too is, for those who are familiar, there are spigots out there, and some of them work and some of them don't. So in this too, the cemetery board would at least like to pursue options to remedy the spigots that are not functional, and then the ones that are, and see what's going on there. Thankfully, we do have a former public works member on our cemetery board. He's actually the chair, And so he knows a lot of the history regarding freezing pipes and things like that, or if they're just not hooked up. So hopefully between the cemetery board, our current public works crew and the engineer, we could figure out what's going on to make sure all the spigots are working. So not only would we have nice roads, we would have water to all of the new sections as well.
Well, certainly commend the cemetery board for all the good work they do, but, also sort of putting this out there, and the only way the future happens is by planning now, so, all right. So I'm sensing that from what Councilor Hess said too, from the cemetery board, that this was an informational item, or do we need to take formal action to table or something?
Well, you can accept it and then, put it as part of the budget and, direct staff to seek IRRB. I mean, that's whatever you guys want to, councilor and mayor want to do at this time.
Well, I'm thinking I'd just like it on the table when we're considering the budget, but I don't wanna.
Hey, I make a motion that we take this recommendation to the budget committee.
All right,
second that.
Moved by Councilor Hess, supported by Councilor Hanson. Further discussion? If not,
Question,
Yep.
when would the cemetery board, does it cemetery board meet again before the budget meeting?
No.
No? Okay, I was just gonna say, if this had to be prioritized and broken down,
We could call a special meeting for the
yeah.
cemetery board if we had.
I think they'd be open to a special meeting for this specific agenda item.
cause you said
definitely.
the front page is, would be new streets, right?
That's the new area, yes,
Okay.
yep. There might be, I don't have it in front of me, I apologize, but, there might be on the backside like 1 or 2 streets that's a part of the new area, but yes, the ones on the front for sure were the new area.
So the other question I have is, you said future planning, so is this proposed for when the county, southern portion of the county road goes, or when we're doing other parts of town around that area? What is that timeline looking like?
I think it would come down to cost. It was brought up due to the, your area for the water plant. That's why this was brought up, but I mean, if we had to wait until the county comes through on 100, that works out too. I just say, yeah, so something to consider when we're looking at this budget-wise, how far out do we wanna put it, when are we just doing little bits at a time or waiting, that sort of thing, so, but up to council completely.
That's something we'll have to hash out at budget.
I mean, if you do it little bits at a time, it's gonna cost you more money. It's,
All right, well, we have a motion on the table. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thanks for the work that went into that. Moving on to agenda item 18.3, Think Tracks proclamation. Which probably becomes less pressing if we get a bridge over the tracks, but certainly is very important at the current time, and I don't perceive that it's terribly controversial, but anyone want to make a motion to approve the proposed proclamation?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilor Hanson, supported by Councilor Berquist. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to resolution, or proposed resolution 2026-37, regarding establishment of a ballot board. The city clerk, you tend to handle election matters. Do you want to give a little background on this?
Yeah, so I may have said this in that meeting that we had, a special meeting, or the special meeting pertaining to elections, but there are just some procedures that, it will be in perpetuity, these 2 resolutions that we're seeing on the agenda next, but ultimately, being that this is our first time administering the election as Aurora and solely Aurora, we just have to get these in place. So ultimately, this is pretty standard. I believe the state statutes are referenced in both of the resolutions, so just compliant with state statutes.
And that's reflective of our taking over elections and things?
Essentially, it's essentially the procedures that we need to follow after taking over the elections, yes.
All right, we have the proposed resolution in front of us. Is there a motion to approve it? moved by Counselor Berquist, supported by Counselor Hess. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Resolution's adopted. Moving on to counting the write-in ballots. I noticed the one item about the write-in candidate having to file.
So this is, I'm happy you brought that up, Mayor. I was going to bring that up as well. So this is something that has been a state statute, however, it was amended this past session. So the dates changed a bit, so this resolution, I don't think states dates. I tried not to state dates because then we have to adopt it when it changes, but ultimately it's just indicating that we're gonna follow state statute in case state statute changes again in the future. But ultimately, we, as election administrators, have to go to a required hours. It's 2 hours every time there's an election season. So we will be taught if it does change in the future, but ultimately it's just allowing us to follow state statute in case that filing period changed, which it has this year. It increased from, I think it was 8 days to 19 days before. But and we'll post for that because there will be a vacancy for Aurora. We did have a withdraw during that period, so we will have a 4-year council seat that has no one running for it. So back to the long write-in counting. So yeah, I'm not the judges here, I'm the officials, so just have to wait for them to get back.
Just a question, Lindsay, if I'm reading this right, if there are write-ins, write-in votes on ballots.
Yep.
For somebody who didn't file.
Yep.
Then those votes aren't counted? Is that
Correct. Yep, that is correct. Yep. So essentially, let's say 4 people apply for write-ins. You would only, as the judges, you would only count those 4 folks who applied to be considered in the write-ins. So this is also kind of bringing it back to when we had the write-in candidates now, 4 or 5 years ago. Some people, were not even very interested in being city council at all, but were written down. So it's kind of negating those folks that might get 7 or 8 votes, which might end up being the most votes or the second most votes needed for that, and they just really aren't interested at all. So, and gives us clerks a little bit more time to process and make sure that all the election judges are aware of who filed to be considered. So, yeah.
So it's interesting to me. I gather this is what the policy essentially has been. I didn't know that applied in previous elections or anything. So we're not changing policy, we're just clarifying and tying it into the state.
I would refer
I
to
don't know
council, but I believe
historically,
it's,
well, they used
yeah.
to report Superman or Batman.
Yes, it
Mickey
changed.
Mouse is a.
I think it was 3 or 2 elections ago that
Yeah,
it
that-
finally added this in place, but
They
then
got-
now they amended it.
They got tired of that going on.
Yes, Daffy Duck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, fortunately, not too many individuals are actually named those, so we
No,
won't be cutting
yes.
people out.
Yes.
I do
But
have a question.
Councilor Berquist? Yeah.
Jim, so if there are no official files for write-in, are we still counting write-ins at that point?
No,
That's
you'd have,
the only thing that this does not address.
we'd have to do a special election then at that point, cause there would be no one able to fill that seat, so. Which, at that time, we could appoint someone until the next special election would have to be
Right.
held, but
Yep.
yes, we'd have to unfortunately have a special election.
Which is
So.
an additional cost.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
All right, well, is there no further discussion on it? Is there a motion to adopt the proposed resolution?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, we adopt resolution 2026-39.
Moved by Councilor Hess and Councilor Hanson, and supported by Councilor Berquist. All right, so, any further discussion now? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and the resolution's adopted. Moving into, let's see, the resolution 2026-39, accept the cemetery donation for.
40.
Yeah, you must have an old version, Doug, 40.
I may have that.
Yep, you do, yep.
All right, so,
2026-40.
okay, resolution
That's why I
2026-40.
didn't-
have to adopt the donation or approve the.
Yeah, it's just a different number, that's all, yeah, so.
Mine's old too.
By golly, you folks, okay.
I'll move to adopt resolution 2026-40, accepting the cemetery donation.
Thank you, Council Berquist.
I'll support
Moved there and supported by Councilor Hanson. And, let's see. All right, so, any further discussion on the proposed resolution? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution's adopted. Now, we're moving to proposed resolution, 2026-41. All right, and I'm sure someone has a copy of that, but I'll rely upon that. Any background information beyond what we covered in our meeting or not? All right.
Didn't you give full story?
No, so we did have a full discussion of that in the agenda setting meeting. It'd be in order, I think, now to approve the
Is that true?
adoption of the resolution regarding the issuance, sale, and delivery of the bond. And just as background information for those who weren't privy to the agenda setting, Ehlers commended the city on the excellent financial position it was in. Said the market rewarded our good financial position by a lower interest rate, and saved some other costs that should mean that we have to turn to our various revenue sources less to be able to pay off these things. So it's a good reflection on the city organization generally, and good development on this particular bond sale. And with that in mind, is there a motion to adopt the proposed resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Councilor Hess.
I'll support it.
Supported by Councilor Hanson. Further discussion? Anything that we're missing, details on the
I
council?
do have a question. It looks like 2038 is missing from the years. Please start skipping years.
Yeah, they start skipping
2037.
years as you get further up.
Yeah,
They go every 3.
in the resolution. Is that just to save space?
Well, they have bonds maturing in that.
In the resolution on the back.
Is that just the way they set it up, Jeff? I noticed that too, is they got some jumps.
That's why they always are.
Under 137.
Well, that'll be a relative windfall in the years if we don't have an obligation on a particular payment.
Is
So
that,
Well, those are the bond maturities, not the payments.
Oh, those maturity.
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
We don't get to buy that
Gotcha.
year then.
Darn.
That needs to be a better, thank you.
We can dream, but
Yeah.
not exactly.
Thank you.
Okay.
That clarifies that, thank you.
All right, I believe we have the motion on the table. Great, it's been supported. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And we are on to our bond issuance. Now, is there, I thought there was an item we're
There
gonna
is.
bring up under other?
Yep. Could you, direct city staff and city attorney to work on that, Freedom of Information Act that was requested to us? It does look like it's prior to our next city council meeting date, so if you could just direct us to fulfill that request that came in today, that would be fantastic, so. In order to
All right, a
comply.
motion to direct the staff to comply with the Office of,
Freedom of
Freedom of
Information Act. I always
Act,
send it with that
of
one too.
Minnesota Data Practices.
Yes.
This is the federal counterpart of
Yep.
it. Moved by Councilor Berquist, supported by Councilor Hess. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have that. There other business or not?
That I can think of.
Councilors, anything? All right, if not, our next regular meeting is Tuesday, August 18th at 5 p.m. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Councilor Berquist, supported by Councilor Hanson. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned.